Which pension plan is better, Plan 2 or Plan 3? In today's video, we're going to be settling that debate. My name is Ethan Miko, the co-founder of Scenic Financial. I specialize in helping school district employees in Washington State build better financial lives. If you want more videos like this one, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, don't forget to check out my tax-free masterclass. The link is in the description. Now I'm going to jump right into it. If you don't know how Plan 2 or Plan 3 works, then pause the video right now, click on the card in the top corner here to learn more about Plan 2 and Plan 3. Alright, so we'll just use $100,000 as our average salary, and then we'll assume you work 30 years. So in Plan 2, you get 2% for every year you work. So 30 times 2, it's going to be 60%. 60% of $100,000 is $60,000 guaranteed for the rest of your life. On the Plan 3 side, remember it's only 1% for every year you work. So in this scenario, you'd only get about 30% or $30,000 a year for the rest of your life. So it's half as much. It's important to remember that Plan 3 has that defined contribution side attached to it, right? That's that bucket of money that you're saving into every month. That bucket has that one purpose of helping you pay for your retirement. It's meant to produce income for your future. And anytime you're taking money off of a retirement account, you want to make sure you're not taking out too much money. So there's something called a safe withdrawal rate, and that's the amount of money you can take out safely without risking running out of money in the future. So today that number is roughly about 3% a year. So in other words, if you had $100,000 saved up, it would give you a whole $3,000. So in order for Plan 3 to equal the same payout that Plan 2 has in this scenario, you would need to save $1 million. If you had $1 million, you could take 3% a year out, or $30,000, and that would get you to that $60,000 total. Then the plans would be equal. Now, $1 million is a huge number, and many people won't reach it. In fact, the average Plan 3 retirement balance for someone that has 30 years of service is somewhere between $250,000 and $500,000. Maybe a little bit more if you're working on the west side, but that's pretty much what I see running those plans. So most people only have a third to half of that required number. So in scenarios like that, Plan 2 is obviously the clear winner. Another option you could do on Plan 3 is you could put money into an annuity that would guarantee a certain payout level. So annuities will guarantee you a 5, 6, maybe even 7% payout level per year. So you can get double the amount of money out, or it would require half as much. So in other words, if you found an annuity that paid out 6% a year guaranteed, all you would need is $500,000 to generate $30,000 of income. Then the plans would be equal then. But that's still $500,000 that you'd have to save up over the years only to lock it up into the annuity just to break even with Plan 2. So when you're kind of comparing Plan 2 to Plan 3 as far as income levels in the future, Plan 2 typically is going to be the easiest road to higher guaranteed payout. The nice thing with Plan 3 having that bucket of money though is that it does give you some liquidity. So if you wanted to retire a little bit earlier, you have some money to pull off and live on for a bit, so you're not forced to take a penalty if you want to retire earlier. Plan 2 doesn't have that flexibility. However, you can also save on the side. That's where things like your DCP and your 403B savings come into play, is to build up that cash reserve. So if you wanted to leave in the future or you needed more money, you have that there. Now Plan 3 has a couple of other advantages. For one, if you were to retire earlier from working and not take your pension, so instead, let's say you worked up until age 55 and decided to leave and go work somewhere else, and you're not taking your pension amount is actually going to increase by about 3% per year just by waiting to collect your benefit. That doesn't exist on the Plan 2 side. So that's just one benefit Plan 3 has, and it can kind of help close the gap to Plan 2. If you're wondering what the break even is, it's about 25 years. So if you worked until, say, age 40 on Plan 2, then left, that benefit would stay set and wouldn't grow while you waited to age 65 to collect it. On Plan 3, in the same scenario where you worked to age 40 and then you held off collecting to 65, it would increase by 3% for those 25 years, and then you'd be about even for that 25 years. So for the most part, unless you plan on leaving fairly early in your career, Plan 2 is going to most likely give you the most guaranteed income in the future. Another advantage that Plan 3 has over Plan 2 is that you're able to actually retire, not take your pension, and be able to enroll into the PEB medical plan. If you're on Plan 2, you're actually required to take your pension before you're eligible to be on PEB. So for someone looking to possibly retire earlier and don't want to take the pension, Plan 2 basically forces you to either work longer or take a penalty on that pension just so you're eligible to get into the PEB plan. If you're on Plan 3, you have the option to stop working. You don't have to take the pension if you don't want to, so you don't have to take any kind of early penalties, and you can still get on the PEB. So that's just one other advantage. If your plan is to work up until your full retirement age anyways, or you plan on getting a second job or even just subbing to help cover for medical care, then that shouldn't be a determining factor on you if you should choose Plan 3 or Plan 2. Remember, the ultimate goal for all of our retirement savings is to generate income for our future. So when we stop receiving our paycheck, we know with certainty we're going to have income to last us the rest of our lives. Plan 2 assures you that by giving you that 2% benefit on top of your Social Security. Another thing to note with Plan 2 is you do have to contribute money into it. Right now it's about 8% per year, and it can and probably will go up in the future, just like it has in the past. So some people see that as a negative point to Plan 2 is because they're being forced to put money into this pension plan, and it's money that they're not able to put into the market and grow for the future. Personally, I'd be happy to pay 8, 10, 15, even 25% of my income into a plan if it gives me a guaranteed paycheck for the rest of my life, and it guarantees a 2% payout for every year I put in. Because remember, if we're just using that safe withdrawal rate of 3%, every $1 million is only worth $30,000 of income. If I worked that 30 years on Plan 3 and got $60,000 per year, that's equivalent to having $2 million really. So it's a substantial benefit, and I'd happily pay whatever they really wanted to charge me for that. The reason they created Plan 3 was because it cost the state less and they were on the hook for less money. So personally, if I was starting today as a teacher in Washington State, I would go with Plan 2. I'd pay 8 or whatever percentage they're going to charge me to be in that plan. And then I'd save the rest of my money into a 403B plan, Roth 403B, maybe even a Roth IRA if that's not available in my school district. That way I can be saving for the future on top of my pension plan. So really when you boil it down, having Plan 2 with a separate retirement account attached to it, it's really like having Plan 3 on steroids, because I'm going to be guaranteed 2% per year instead of 1%, and instead of being forced to save on a pre-tax basis into a state-controlled account, I'm able to save into a Roth, which grows tax-free, and I maintain full control and flexibility of that account. So fast forward 30 years into the future, I would have 60% of my income guaranteed on Plan 2, plus all the money I've saved over the last 30 years. All right, so I hope that settles that debate there. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And if you're interested in learning more about your 403B plan so you can save more for your future, check out these videos I've done over here, and I'll see you guys next week. And remember that your future depends on what you do today.